Hello, everyone. My name is Ronald, and I'd like to take you through this course, Information Sources and Their Uses. It's actually a course from the UCC's course manual on information literacy skills. The topic is Information Sources and Their Uses. Information Sources and Their Uses. So, when we say information sources, um, it's difficult to define what an information source is, though. But let's go through the introduction. It says that some of the resources in the library includes the general reference books, what we call encyclopedias, dictionaries, atlases, directories. Then we have what we call textbooks. Then we have what we call novels, periodicals. Then we have electronic resources. Now, these resources may be print and then non-print. When you say print, that is the hard copy books. When we say non-print, that is the electronic, that is the e-books, e-journal, the articles, and all that. So these are some of the resources that are kept at the library. Okay. Now, um, um, when we say um, when we say a reference source or an information source, in this chapter, a reference source, information source, okay, they are used interchangeably. All right. So just get to understand. When we say reference source, it simply means that it's a material at the library that contains facts. They are used to answer quick questions. They are not specific, but contain a variety of answers from variety of disciplines and all that. So it's difficult to define it, but I'm just trying to explain it so it becomes a reference. So maybe you want a quick answer on something, you can consult a reference source. You understand? Like a newspaper, you can consult, it's a reference source. Like a dictionary, it's a reference source. Like a magazine, can be a reference source and all that. Now, some of the types of reference sources, okay, we have the directional search tools, okay, directional search tools. With this kind of reference source, they do not contain the information themselves, okay, but they actually direct you, okay, to the information. An example is a bibliography. All right, so when you take the Ghana National Bibliography, it gives you a list of all the books that have been published in this country, and then it gives you the authors and all that. So you need a particular book that has been published in Ghana. When you pick Ghana National Bibliography, for instance, it can lead you, okay, to the books that have been published in this country so that you can actually get that particular book that you need. So the bibliography, the Ghana National Bibliography, does not contain the information you're looking for, but it is serving as a guide for you to locate that material that you want. I hope you understand. So directional search tools do not contain the information itself. They actually direct you. So you pick the bibliography and it directs you to that. I hope you understand. And as well as an index and then an abstract. Then we have the source type. With this kind of reference source, um, it actually contains the information you are looking for. Okay, like when you pick a dictionary, you are looking for the meaning of a word. Okay, or you pick an encyclopedia to look for something, maybe a Britannica to look for something. You find the thing in it. But unlike the directional search tool, that is a bibliography that only lists the material in them. Do you understand? I hope you are clear. Now, we come to what a reference material is. Tried explaining it a while ago. The reference materials contains facts that have been brought together from many sources and organized for quick and easy use. So for that one is a lot of information that have been put together. So you consult it for quick. Maybe you want like when you pick a dictionary, you want the meaning of word, or you want the adjective, or sometimes the synonym to that word. When you pick a dictionary, it helps you to be able to locate that. Okay, so with a reference material, you don't read them from cover to cover. You understand? You only use them to find answers in a particular situation that you find yourself. Now let's look at some of the characteristics of reference materials. They are meant to be consulted in the libraries. Okay, such books. So you know when you come to the library, we do not give out those books. We do not. They are not to be borrowed. So you only consult them. Okay, at the library. So when you need a Britannica, Encyclopedia Britannica, or you need a Ghana National Bibliography, I mean, according to our rule, we do not give them out. So you only need it as and when you want to consult an information on a fact. You understand? You want to use it to um, answer a question, a query. You understand? So we don't give them out. We are not supposed to borrow it. It is not acceptable. You understand? Now they are not meant to be read from cover to cover. So a reference material, when you pick a dictionary, I don't think you like to read the dictionary from cover to cover. You understand? If you pick Ghana National Bibliography, there's no need for you to read from cover to cover. Or if you pick an index, you understand? Yeah. So you only supposed to consult them as and when you need them. You understand? Now they are kept as separate section of the library. So when any library that you can, there is a reference section where those materials are kept. Okay, if you go to BAM Library, University of Ghana, for instance, they have a reference library on its own there. So you can always consult information there. So you don't keep it amongst the other resources. They are kept differently and they are called reference materials or reference sources or information sources. Now, I want us to pick some of the reference materials or the reference sources or the information sources and then treat them. Then the first one is dictionaries. Now, a dictionary is a set of books containing words and usually phrases alphabetically arranged together with information about them, especially their forms, pronunciation, usage, spelling, and meaning. So, we all know what a dictionary is, okay? So, you pick a dictionary, it's alphabetically arranged, okay? You can find the meanings, you can find pronunciation, sometimes you can even find the root, you understand? In it. And we all know what it is. Example is the Longman Dictionary and all that. The types of the dictionaries, we have general dictionary, we have subject dictionary, we have a dictionary on ICT, a law dictionary, etc. Special dictionary, translating dictionaries, and all that. So these are some of the types of dictionaries. And what do we use dictionaries for? We use them to define words. We use dictionaries to verify spelling, syllabication, or pronunciation. We use dictionaries to check how a word is used, and then we can use to check the etymology of a word. Etymology of a word has to be with the roots, whether it came from Latin or it came from Greek or whatever. You understand? So that's how it is. So we have other dictionary, non-print dictionaries or electronic dictionary like the Cambridge Dictionary. You can just click on this link and then it will lead you there. We have the Oxford Learners Dictionary. You can just click on it and then it will also lead you there. Right. So I think we are done with dictionaries. Let's go to another um, reference source, which is bibliographies. So bibliographies simply means that a list of books or manuscripts and publications that have been arranged systematically and which have relationship with each other. So it sought to list the author, the subject, um, how do we date of publication and all that. So when you pick a bibliography, you find a list of materials, a list of them. So you see it's been listed, um, the author, the title of the book, the date of publication, and all that listed, and so you see them. All right. So types of bibliographies we have. Number one, author. So with this kind of bibliography, it lists works by and about one author. Okay, that is what the author bibliography is about. Then we have the subject bibliography. So with the subject bibliography, you can have a bibliography or maybe only education. So you can have a list of books on education. So in that bibliography, it's been listed a number of books. People who have written on education, they've listed, excuse me, on inside the bibliography. All right. Then we have a national bibliography. So the national bibliography, like for instance, the one I mentioned, Ghana National Bibliography, it contains all the list of materials published in a country or by or about a country in a year. So in every year in Ghana, all the materials that have been published in this country, okay, George Padmore Library, okay, list them into a national bibliography, okay, and then we have a book trade, okay, um, book trade, then you have the publisher's catalog. These are all types of bibliography. Now, what are the uses of bibliographies? They are used. They are useful sources in searching for materials or publication or subject. For instance, if I pick a subject bibliography on education and want certain sources or certain titles on education, the subject bibliography will help me locate relevant materials on education. You understand? Now, they indicate the scope of the subject, so you can see the scope of the subject based on what the bibliography what has been listed in the bibliography. And then it also helps you to verify the details of the publication. You understand? So when you see that there has been a publication there, maybe in Ghana, the Ghana National Bibliography can help you to verify whether that particular publication was made, okay, in Ghana. So let's continue. Encyclopedias. So we've dealt with dictionaries, we've dealt with bibliographies. Now we are coming to encyclopedias. So Ritz defines encyclopedia as a book or numbered set of books containing. Remember, it says a book or a numbered set of books containing authoritative summary of information about a variety of topics in the form of short essays, usually arranged alphabetically by head word or classified in some manner. So a typical example is the Encyclopedia Britannica. The Encyclopedia Britannica is in volumes. So you have volume 1, 2, 3, 4, they've been numbered, I think 25 or so. And you can have a summary of information on various topics, individuals, etc. Okay, so that is what it's about. Types of encyclopedias. We have the General Encyclopedia, okay, the Webster's New Explorer Dex Encyclopedia. For that kind of encyclopedia, it contains information on variety of topics and all that. Encyclopedia for different age groups. So we have children's encyclopedia and adults. We have subject encyclopedia. So we can have an encyclopedia on only fruits. Okay, encyclopedia on fruits. We have encyclopedia on vegetables. All right. So that is how it is. Then yearbooks. Okay, these are all types of encyclopedia. So you can find facts in them. Okay, that's what makes them references. And you know that these kind of materials, you cannot read them from cover to cover as the explanation of a reference source was done. Then, yeah, so the uses finding facts. It provides a general background historical information. So if you want historical information on a subject, encyclopedia can be a good source, and it helps to locate explanatory materials or definitions. So when you look at the summary of these on the topics, the encyclopedia can be a form of material, source of materials for definitions or explanations. It also serves as a guide to topics within its pages or to outside sources. So you can use the cross references and the bibliographies to be able to find or to do references on that. An example is the Britannica, okay, like I mentioned. So let's go to periodicals. is very easy. A periodical is publication with a distinctive title and is published at regular or irregular intervals. So a periodical can come out daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and all that. So a type is a journal. So when a journal is published maybe weekly, it becomes a periodical. A magazine is published maybe weekly, daily, it becomes newsletters and all that. Okay, they are all periodicals. You understand? Now, index, okay, an index indicates where information can be found rather than provide the information. So, as was explained when we're talking the types of reference source, an index lists, okay, um, uh, keywords. Okay, each keywords relates to a certain material. Okay, you can have an index, it's been indexed in them. So you have a keyword or maybe on education. Education can lead you to several books. The keyword education can lead you to several books or several titles on education. So that is what it is. You understand? So it serves as a guide. It helps you, okay, to be able to locate material using keywords. All right. So we have the general index. The general index is general, okay, as the name goes, and you're able to look at materials from variety of disciplines. Then we have the subject index. The subject index is specific, okay, it's very specific on a particular discipline. You can have an index on maybe education, you can have an index on law, you can have an index on technology, etc. Then we have an index on newspaper index, newspaper index. Okay, we have an index on newspaper. So if you want to locate a particular newspaper, there's an index on them. Then we have the back of the book index. The back of the book index. Those of you that have the Bible, you can check. There's always an index at the back of the Bible, and the hymnal books, you can have an index at the back. So that is what an index is. Okay. Then we have an abstract. An abstract is simply it's just like the index, but with an abstract, it gives a summary of the content, okay, of the article or the book that has been what indexed. So you can have the abstract is also a book like an index, and then in it, the materials have been listed or has been indexed. Let me say listed, and then that particular material that has been indexed is there is a summary, there's a brief summary about that material. And so when you pick that abstract, it helps you, it gives you an understanding of what is in that material. I hope you understand. So the types of an abstract, you have the informative abstract. That one contains all the facts, the essential facts, data information, the original document. So is sort of a little detailed. Then we have the indicative. That one only shows the principal areas, okay, covered by the document. So you look at how the topics in that book has been treated or talked about. So that is what an abstract is. So an abstract is simply a summary of a material that have been listed, okay, in a particular book. All right. Now, what are some of the uses of index and abstract? Um, the uses. Now, when you are acquiring materials for your library, an index and an abstract can be a good point in selecting those materials at the library. So that is one of the use. An abstract and an index will help you to quickly evaluate the content of a document. Because when I pick an abstract, it helps me to look at the content of a particular document based on how it's been put or listed in the index or the abstract. All right. Then it also helps to facilitate retrieval of information. So when you pick an abstract or an index, it helps you know the materials that are listed, and it helps you to quickly be able to retrieve the information so that you don't waste time. And then You use this information to be able to compile a bibliography. Remember, I told you a bibliography is a list. It lists books, okay, the author, the title, the place of publication, etc., etc. So these are the uses of an abstract and what an index. All right. Now, maps. Okay, maps and atlases too are simply also reference sources because we consult them, okay, for various information. A map simply means a representation of the surface of the earth or a section of it showing physical features such as cities, roads, seas, etc. So the mere representation or section of the earth showing the physical features, okay, is a map. Now, what are atlases? So when you bound a lot of maps together in a uniform dimension, either in single or in volumes, that become an atlas. So you have a collection of maps that have been bounded together. It becomes what? An atlas, right? Now, types of atlases. You have the general reference atlas, you have the regional atlas, road atlas, thematic atlas. So, the general reference atlas talks about maps of um, various types. The regional atlas has to do with the regional um, maps, and then the road atlas shows the thematic has to do with the climate and all that. Now, what do we use maps and atlases for? So you can use it helps you to locate place on the earth's surface. So if you pick your Google map like this, it can help you locate a particular place. If you pick an atlas, it can help you locate a particular place. You can check where Ghana is um, on the Ghana map and all that. It helps you determine the distance between 2 points. So an atlas is a good point where um, um, you can locate the distance between 2 points. Okay, you know the readings, there are readings on it that helps you determine the distances. All right, that helps you to determine the time zones of cities and countries. So uh, a map or usually in every atlas you find the time zones in every country, so it can help you to locate all of that. um I think these are the reading list, but be mindful that this recording was on the UCC's slide that has been provided, and it's from the manual, the book UCC Information Literacy Skills. So always consult that and all that. My name is Ronald, and